Hello, and thank you for tuning in to this week's energy forecast. And I appreciate all the love and support from this past week from all my beautiful family here at Reach Your Happy. My to-be mother-in-law made her transition into the non-physical. She passed on Wednesday afternoon, and it was a beautiful transition. And with any transition brings up a lot, of course. The transition of the seasons. Today it's particularly windy on the East Coast, and it's a beautiful reminder that in transition we often feel like the wind is blowing particularly strong in our lives. And the beautiful thing about Mother Nature is that everything is done so precisely with such great depth and meaning behind everything that goes on. So with it being very windy right now, you see the trees blowing around, maybe you have some flowers that have started to bloom. What the wind does is actually strengthens the roots. So this week you may feel a little bit blustery. You may feel like the transition you're moving through, whether it be in your family situation like myself, or perhaps just an internal shift that you sense going on. Know that the wind is actually creating stronger roots for you. And that brings to mind a conversation I recently had with my dad since my sweet Jenny passed away, is that, I went through this 16 years ago with my mom passing, and to be here now with my fiance and my to-be father-in-law, supporting them in the transition and in I'm going through this transition and that loss as well, that I am so thankful that I am 16 years older than I was the first time that this happened in my life, this major uprooting and need for transition and adjustments on all fronts. That 16 years ago, 15-year-old me had to deal with this loss and the anxiety and this change, this real shift in all things. It's like, when you move, it's like this uprooting and moving to a new spot. And when someone passes, it's this similar sense of uprooting and you're moved to a different spot, whether you like it or not. So, I was saying to my dad, I'm so thankful that I have 16 years under my belt, that I've done this before on some level, and that I can be a support to my fiance, to whoever it is, and also watching, my father-in-law go through this and my fiance go through this. It mirrors so perfectly my own father and myself going through this, and it's allowed me to have such compassion for myself. So perhaps this idea of transition doesn't really resonate too much with you, but you're witnessing it in someone else's life. Know that you being a part of someone's transition, whether you're the friend that they call, the shoulder they lean on, or whatever, the circumstances may be, that you are aiding them in a transition, and the skills, the knowledge, the wisdom you have from your life experience is meant to serve and help other people in your life. And we often don't know why we're going through such a hard time or what a transition is really about. And we beat up on ourselves for feeling disconnected and disjointed in transitions or when we're witnessing someone transition. And this is just a little reminder that transition, right? The wind blowing, it stirs things up. It's not supposed to feel orderly and calm and clear. It's actually quite chaotic. So if you're feeling chaotic in any regard, maybe you know, you've started a new workout routine and you're not really feeling like this is working for me right now. Well, perhaps it's just a transition. Perhaps there's some roadblocks arising, not because you're doing something wrong, but every step along your journey, you're going to be presented with things that help you evolve that much further. You know, part of me was thinking, you know, I was feeling so good. I just went through a major shift internally over the past couple weeks. And then, you know, all of a sudden this happens and Jenny's in the hospital and, you know, we have to be supportive of some really hard decisions that had to be made. And I'm looking, I'm like, why the heck is this? Why though? Like, why is there always something that comes up? And it's the continuous fine-tuning, you know, the ever fine-tuning of you as a spiritual being, as a physical being, but also that non-physical side of us, that emotional side of us. Like, I'm just seeing time and time again, we're never done with our evolution. And life is just going to bring you things over and over and over again to help you evolve. And some things that I noticed in Jenny's transition and the days that followed were such similar energies, vibrations, feelings in my body that I've been carrying around for all this time. And I realized they were first triggered when my mom passed. And it's you know, Brad, my fiance, said it perfectly. It's like, well, you know, you're the best bully to yourself. You're the meanest bully because you know your soft spot. So in transition, when someone passes, there can be this sense of abandonment and betrayal and loss, of course, and whatever kind of emotions you have tied to that. So Jenny's passing has brought up so many, one specific emotional block that needed to be dealt with, and I wasn't aware of it. And I'm just so thankful for this experience, for my awareness, for this energy forecast to really hold the space for me to continue to transition alongside you. And I am this weekend getting my Reiki Master Training certification, rather Reiki Master Teacher certification. So I'll be able to teach. And my Reiki Master some time ago said, when you go through Reiki Mastership training and go into the teaching portion, every little thing that needs to be uncovered, seen by you to be this teacher, to be this role model, is going to be brought up for you. So I thought the past couple weeks have been just that, this kind of bringing up of everything that I was blind to. And then Jenny passed unexpectedly. It's now last week, it was last Wednesday. And I was like, oh my goodness, like my Reiki Master was so spot on. So I want to say to those who have reached out about becoming Reiki certified 1, 2, or mastership, that it's going to bring up and out these things that you want to be healed, that you're ready to bring into the light. And it is such a gift to do this for yourself, for people in your family, and beyond. So with that being said, I do want to offer a healing today, though I always do a healing through this channeled guidance here on my energy forecast. I do feel like in transition, we want to be supported a little bit further. So I'm going to go through the energy centers of the body that are really calling me. So if you're not driving, I'm going to invite you now to rest your eyes just for a couple moments. Noticing how your body feels right now. Noticing where your mind is. Noticing how your heart feels. And perhaps setting some sort of intention for yourself. Something emotional, something mental, whatever it is you feel you need. Set an intention to receive that now. Okay. So today we call upon the Reiki Ascended Masters and any angels or guides of the highest vibration that have guidance for this group today. We ask that you lovingly step in to guide, protect, and support this group. And we trust that the highest good of all is always being served. And so it is. Okay, so I'm just going to scan the body, head to toe. And I'm feeling the heart. Okay, so let's check in with your heart. And if you feel inspired to, you can put your hand on your heart just to give yourself that physical support. Since you're not getting Reiki in person, having that physical touch can be really healing. So the heart, in this transition, there's a little bit of, I feel like I should be feeling something other than I am. And that's a conflict between your mind and your heart right now. You may have some deep spiritual awareness. You may have seen this coming. You know, there's so many different things that happen between the mind and the heart that we can be on opposing pages, and that's all right that you don't feel like you should right now. So if you can, access that emotion that you feel like you shouldn't be feeling right now. Notice it, feel it completely, just by addressing it. And by doing this, what you're offering that emotion inside your heart is the acceptance that you are here, I feel you, there's nothing I can do to rid myself of you, or else I would have done it already. And just sit there for a moment, noticing how that feels to offer your heart acceptance, communicating to the mind, hey, this is where we're at. I just gotta feel this right now. And now check in. How is that feeling now? Has it neutralized at all? Has it shifted ever so slightly? With this transition you're going to be going through this week, you are going to feel some space. So sometimes space can feel, I have a little puppy friend here with me. It's Jenny's little sidekick. Her name's Annie, and she's just sitting here listening. So if you hear a dog, that's her. This space that's being created by the wind, by this transition, can feel like emptiness. Can feel like this gutting out. So let that happen. Let your container be cleared. Let your body shift in whatever way it needs to shift. Take the rest you need. Do the exercise if that's what you feel called to do. Eat the food, do what you feel called to do right now. And know that that spaciousness, that emptiness, that hollowing out is preparing your vessel for a higher vibration, a higher feeling to begin to enter your life. But sometimes we get a little bit emotionally constipated, emotionally backed up when we kind of fight the sensation we're feeling. So this offering yourself acceptance by simply becoming aware of the emotion creates space for it to shift, and then whatever energy that wants to fill in to simply transmute that older, heavier energy and fill in that empty space. You're not supposed to feel calm and clear and collected right now. When you're in transition, that's just not expected. So again, the mind's like, well, I've done this before, right? Like me losing Jenny, and well, I've done this before. I've lost my mom before. It's like, yes, well, every single new situation that arises, whether it's familiar or not, yes, you've subtly shifted. Yes, you have become stronger and clearer, and you've grown since the last time this happened. That doesn't mean it makes it easier. This doesn't mean it won't bring up some maybe new or old emotions that you thought were taken care of. Okay. So I'm going to move down to the solar plexus. This is actually have my hand like on the back side because I can feel like a lot of pressure in that mid-back area. And this is the emotional center, the solar plexus area. Yeah, so I'm hearing I feel confused, I feel overwhelmed, I don't know what to do, where to go, how do I focus, how am I going to get that done? And take breaks where you can. Give yourself space where you can. Like last week, I felt like I really wanted, this is when Jenny was just at the hospital, I was like, oh, I know doing the energy forecast is something I really enjoy doing. It gives me content for the whole week. Like I really like the setup I've got going. However, I can't get there right now. I'm not capable of sitting in that receptive space and channeling. I'm just not. And so I gave myself permission to take a break. So your emotions are saying, where can you give yourself permission to take a break? And already I can feel that lightening, like, yeah, maybe I can cancel that. Maybe I can kind of cut back on that or change that. And the symbol of a butterfly is showing up. And that is, of course, the symbol of transformation. And the butterfly, first it's a caterpillar. Hi, baby. First, it's a caterpillar, eating. Then it moves into the cocoon phase where it starts to kind of turn in on itself and turn into mush and break down anything that doesn't serve it into this place that it's transitioning to. Then it starts to grow wings and it's got to flap its way out of that cocoon. So where are you in this phase? Are you the hungry caterpillar? Moving into that introverted period, are you already feeling quite introverted? Or are you ready to fly? Are you flapping your wings, like growing stronger with the transition that you've been going through, that you can see that you're it's right on the horizon there. And you're ready to fly, but you're not quite there yet. That point in time just isn't here yet. Notice where you are in the transition. And claim it. Yeah, I am that hungry caterpillar. I do feel like I need to ground, and eating is really grounding. It really helps you to calm your nervous system, and that is so important in transition, that you continue to soothe yourself, to calm your physical body. So doing that, maybe that's movement, maybe that's getting energy work, maybe that's eating, maybe that's sleeping. But finding some way to ground yourself while everything else is kind of swirling around you, to reconnect to that steady source within you. Okay, I'm going to go down to the root chakra, which is the base of the tailbone. Yeah, and the question of I don't quite know where I don't know where I belong right now. And maybe that's changing. Maybe you're not supposed to know where you belong quite yet. Maybe this transition for you is going to make it so obvious where you belong, where you want to be focused, where your North Star is, what's really important. And so many times through this week of Jenny's passing, I've been like, okay, so what's this going to change? How am I going to go do this? And it's like, whew, okay. It's because I've been through this change before. I know it uproots everything and causes everything to shift. we've been at my father-in-law's house, and I came back here to my space to do yoga last night, and it was like everything looked different. You know, your eyes are different. When something transitions in your life, whatever it is, you see things a little bit differently. Like you get a new car, you see more of that car. You know, you notice other cars like it. But we can't hurry the transition. We want to kind of ride the wave and trust that the transition will bring to us that which we need to see and know and understand. So it's the mind that's kind of hunting, okay, what do I need to see? What do I need to understand? What do I need? And it's like, where do I belong? Who am I now that's changed in my life, that's changed about me? And like I said, the beautiful thing is that life will bring to you the evidence, the information that you need. Your work is to sit back, relax, and be as receptive as you can to the signs, to the signals, to the, okay, I want to go here, I want to go there. I think I need some time. I think I want to adjust this about my lifestyle. Okay. All right, I'm going to move up to the crown chakra, so the very top of your head. Yeah, I'm hearing you're getting a lot of information from the divine right now. So tune in. So maybe that's meditation for you, maybe that's walking, maybe that's spending time with a loved one or time by yourself, but there's information flooding through. That's even something you can do when you go to bed at night, to ask for guidance. Angels, guides, God, source, Jesus, Buddha, Allah, universe, ancestors, whoever you want to call on. Give me the guidance I need. Download it into my mind tonight. May I wake up with further clarity. Yeah. Okay. Moving into the throat. Yes, we don't need to kind of announce to the world who you now are and what you now stand for and what you're going to be doing differently from here on out. Like, that's just not, it's not important right now. Know that you are kind of a walking storybook. I like that. You, just in the way you carry yourself, the way you connect with people, that tells your story energetically. We don't need words so much as we need to just be here, be in our heart. Living honestly, living truthfully to our divine desire. All right. So, on that note, I wish you the best of luck this week, today, tonight, whenever you're tuning into this, in the transition you're going through. Perhaps it's going to be a little bit of a research project, for lack of a better word, about what is transitioning in my life, or what am I ready to transition into? What am I in the midst of, on the cusp of transitioning with? Notice. And know that you are so supported in every single way. And I thank you for always tuning in, for following, for liking, subscribing. I so appreciate your support. I am going, again, I'm going away this weekend to get my teacher training done, so that will be on offer very soon. I can do that remotely, but I'm also thinking of perhaps setting up some sort of way to do it in person if you're looking for that kind of teaching. And that is all. I thank you. I appreciate you. I hope you take good care of you, and I'll talk to you soon.